Right, hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome back to Live Magnificent Mondays. This week, number 48, and this week we're doing Galaxy Quest. You may wonder what's behind me there. Hang on, I will show you. I will show you what's behind me. If I do that, there we go. It's me Galaxy Quest NSEA Protector. It's actually up there, but it's underneath loads of things, as you can see there. There's a mega block ship and other things. So that's my NSEA Protector that I got from a convention. Anywho, right. So where were we? Galaxy Quest, a cool film. But before we start, Windgrace is here. He says, if anyone is planning to be rude in the chat, we have set up a special method to do so. Use the super chat button located, well, wherever it is arrow's pointing. Is it dragging mines? Yes, it will be. Because that's what the NSEA Protector does, as we will see in the film. Anyway, right, so, info about this film. Galaxy Quest from 1999, everybody's favourite comedy Star Trek film. Directed by Dean Parisot, I think that's how you pronounce it. From a story by David Howard, screenplay by David Howard and Robert Gordon, but I think mostly Robert Gordon. But the story by David Howard. He sold it was a spec script that he sold. It's one of these, Hollywood dreams, that he just sold his first one. And I don't know if he's done any more since then, but anyway. It had a budget of $45 million, box office of 90, so I suppose, it didn't do amazingly well, but it did okay, I suppose. Stars, Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, Alan Rickman, Tony Shalhoub, Sam Rockwell, Daryl Chill Mitchell, also Justin Long, and Robin Sachs, and, I forgot the name now, what's her face, Missy Pyle, there we go, and Enrico Colantoni. They're the main ones. Also, Thingamabob, Rainn Wilson in an early role. So there we go. Right, so that's about it, really, isn't it, for the film? But before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already, because it'll tell you when I go live and do stuff like that. There's the Blu-ray that I watched earlier on. A decent Blu-ray, no audio commentary, but it does have the Thermion audio track. And Archmage Frey's on Twitch, so we must be live on Twitch. I usually check, don't I? You are our last hope. So we're live on YouTube. We should be live on Rumble. Let me check. Got to refresh. For some reason, it never comes just comes on Rumble. You've got to faff about. Come on, are you playing? God knows. Yes, it is, right. And we're live on Twitch, I hope. Archmage Frey says we are, but for some reason it's not showing me. Yes, we are. Yes, we're live on Twitch. Right. Cool. And Tim Rose is here. This is one of the best Star Trek movies. Yes, it is. It is one of the best ones. Star Trek. It's better than the new ones. Let's just put it that way. Right. So, is that it? Right. Yes, it is. Right. So we'll just get on with it, shall we? I'll make myself titchy tiny into the corner of the screen. Hang on, I've got to adjust things, haven't I? There I go. Down I go in the corner of the screen. And there's the NSEA Protector again. I will full screen this baby. As usual, we'll not be just watching the film, because YouTube will throw a fit and banish me. So we'll be watching it in a series of stills. I'm trying to remember the information I've learned about it. Wingrid says one day they might even make that show. It's been in the works, hasn't it? For a while. Anyway, right, here we go. DreamWorks, remember them? Are they still going? I don't actually know. I think they are, aren't they? They've got a Mark Johnson production. No relation, I don't think. But you never know. And here we go, we begin. There's the NSEA Protector, and as you can see, we're in 4-3. Because we've seen the clip from the I think it was supposed to be the final episode. It's like the best of both worlds of Galaxy Quest. Unfortunately, the series got cancelled. so we never got a conclusion. But there's the NSCA Protector coming out of the time knot. That's what they call their version of warp travel, the time knot. There we go. And there's young Laredo. Don't ask me who the kid version's played by. I will have to look it up. I'm sure it's Corbin Bleu, Bleu, Corbin Bleu as young Tommy. Obviously, Daryl Chill Mitchell plays older Tommy. DreamWorks, oh yeah, they make all those animated movies now. Kung Fu Panda, Shrek, etc. I think they're still doing them. Anyway, right. Spielberg, Katzenberg and Geffen. That's what the SKG stood for, didn't it? Anyway, so they've made it through the time, not obviously escape from Sunday. Here's the lovely Sigourney Weaver. Hang on, let's go back again. There we go. As Lieutenant Tawny Madison. Actually, she's Gwenda Marco. It's Sigourney Weaver as Gwenda Marco as Lieutenant Tawny Madison, who just repeats what the computer says. But she looks amazing in a blonde wig. She does. And this is apparently one of her, if not her, favourite films she's ever worked on. And she's raring at the bit to do either a sequel or a TV show, apparently. But it's not happening. There's the late, great... oh, God, bloody brain. I blanked again. I'm bloody hopeless. Alan Rickman. Why can I never remember his name? The late, great... Yeah, that great, I can't remember his bloody name. Alan Rickman as Alexander Dane as Dr. Lazarus. He's the I don't know, the Spock / whatever. The show's resident alien, that's what he is. Trying to think of his race. I've forgotten what they're called. Is it mock some? No, I can't remember. Right. So anyway, but they've jumped out of the time knot, but it's a trap. They're surrounded by bad guys. There they are. They're getting shot at. We also saw there he is. There's Tim Allen as Jason Nesmith, who plays Commander. Peter Quincy Taggart. Never called Captain. He's always called Commander. Is it Mactar? Yeah, Mactar. Yeah, something like that. Isn't it? Yeah. And he's Tony Shalhoub as Tech Sergeant Chen. And when he were offered the role, he says, "I can't play an Asian guy." He says, because that's not right. He says, "But I don't mind playing a guy playing an Asian guy." And he kind of based his character on David Carradine, Kung Fu and all that. A Western guy playing an Asian guy. So that's why he kind of looks slightly Asian in that shot. And here we get his first voicing of the motto of the movie and the TV series is "Surrender may be our only option." But hang on, where are we? See, you've gone too far. There we go. It says "Never give up, never surrender," which is a bit militaristic, isn't it? But never mind. So it says "Activate the Omega-13." So it says your orders. Activate the Omega-13 to be continued. And then, actually I like this bit next, because as you're watching, the aspect ratio comes out, as we see there. You can see the black bars coming out to go out the screen. So we're in widescreen then. And we're at a Galaxy Quest convention, which must be a 2-day convention. Because I'm guessing everything in this film happens in the 2-day period. I'm guessing, because at the end of the film we're back here again, and it's definitely it's at least the next day, so it must be a 2-day convention. But anyway, there we see what's his face? I tell you, I'm bloody useless. Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell as Guy Fleegman, although he keeps saying he doesn't have a name. maybe it just means his character. I don't know. But it's crewman number 6. But he does get a character name at the end of the film. But anyway. And he's being the master of ceremonies up on stage, and there we see the people sitting in the convention hall, some in various costumes. I miss going to conventions. I do miss going to conventions. You know what I'm going to do? Hang on, let me get rid of that. Just bear with me. How do I do this? I don't know. There we go, that's what I'm doing. Just bear with me, There we go. Oh, you don't mind, Wind Grace. I've just turned you into a wrench. Anywho, where were we? Right, so there we see the convention. They're all cheering and applauding and stuff. God knows what these aliens are. I presume they're aliens that have appeared in Galaxy Quest over they said 4 They said 4 seasons. So it must have run from like the late 70s to the early 80s, because I think it said 1981, I think. Does it say this here? First people to see the Lost Galaxy Quest. What does that mean, Lost Galaxy Quest episode 92? Episode 92? 4 seasons, 92. I'm the bloody... Well, fair enough, yeah, they might have done. Because like some of the early Star Treks had like between like 25 and 29 episodes, didn't they? That's a disco Klingon. Yes, it did look a bit loud, didn't it? Wasn't this robot here? There was another alien up there. Look. So they got a lot of episodes in 4 seasons, didn't they? 2-parter. Aired in 1982. So if they did 4 seasons, it must have started in 1978 and ran to 1982. 92 episodes, I'm guessing, because I think that was the last one. Because they say later on they never knew what the Omega 13 was. I'm guessing that was the final episode. It ended on a cliffhanger. Right, so it's now time to get the stars of the show onto the stage. They're all backstage in the dressing room. He's fed up. Is Alexander Dane. We never see him without this on his head. Even when we see him at home later, he's still got this on his head. Sometimes his hair pops out, but he's always got it on. So obviously over the years, he's got that used to it. He can apply his own prosthetic. Which, you think that doesn't seem very realistic. But I've been to conventions where some of the stars, particularly like Star Trek conventions, you get people like, of course, bloody their names. The Ferengi from Deep Space Nine. Yes, what? What do you mean GQ? What you on about, Wind Grace? Oh, sorry, too bad. Sorry, I didn't see your other chat there. Too bad Galaxy Quest didn't get an animated series that left out Laredo, but let him write. Oh, write as in write, W-R-I-T, write an episode. Yes, much as they did in Star Trek with Walter Koenig, he wrote an episode, didn't he? Did he do the Vulcan one where Spock was a giant? He was doing that a lot. Yes, Martok and Gowron sometimes put. Yes, they do. But I've seen also. What do they bloody call him? Armin Shimmerman and his brother, Rom, whoever plays him. I'm blanking on his name. I've seen them do conventions with full makeup on, for photo ops and stuff like that. So it's not an unknown thing. Right, sorry, I was off to Google something else without proofreading. It's proofreading. Thing of the past, even for Wingrave. Anyway, they're all backstage doing their thing. There's Fred Kwan, not his real name apparently, doing some sort of puzzle. I forgot bloody Tommy Laredo's name. Tommy Webber, there we go. Tommy Webber's reading the paper. Late worm gets hook, it says. Cool. The sports pages. And apparently he's late. His late is Jason Nesmith. I keep wanting to say it. They've got that many bloody names, haven't they, in this film? And you know what I like with names? But he's late. He's an hour and a half late, 90 minutes late. And this little fella's here saying, don't. He's looking to the chap backstage. I don't know, gone too far. There he is. He's saying, no, fill in time. Because Jason Nesmith hasn't arrived. Tony Madison, she were looking out and saying that those fans are going to start eating each other. No, they're not. They're just sitting patiently waiting, aren't they? It's not as if they're going crazy, but never mind. And Josh Temple's here, never fear, Maddie's here, Harpoon at the ready, so it's been late. Hope you all had a great weekend, yes. I did. I watched some wrestling because it was WWE Money in the Bank, so I watched that over the weekend. Right, here's Alexander Dane complaining because he's British, saying that I played King. I forgot what he said he played now. What does he say he played? Hang on, where are we? Richard III, there we go. Richard III. I played Richard III. 5 curtain calls. I'll get you, Harry Potter. That's what he said. Apparently goes through this every time. He starts getting, it's panic attacks and getting angry that is reduced to this, which is kind of what really happened, isn't it? To a lot of the Star Trek actors and a lot of actors of popular sci-fi, popular genre movies and TV shows, they do end up becoming typecast and they don't get a lot of many roles afterwards. And they do, a lot of them, conventions and things are their main source of income these days. I mean, for some of them obviously are successful and all that, and go on and do other things, and they use conventions, as a supplementary income. But quite a few of them, main source of income is doing conventions, selling autographs, stuff like that. You could say it's sad, but people are willing to pay it, aren't they? People like me. Anyway, there she is. I can't get her how gorgeous she looks in this film. But anyway, right. Yes, she's talking about her role as Tony Madison. She was the airhead of the show, just repeating what the computer says. She obviously had a bit of a cleavage. She did I saw in an interview with her, she said it were fake boobs, but they looked bloody real to me. So unless she just meant she had like push-up stuff, I don't know, but. Special bra to accentuate herself. I don't know, but anyway, that's why she's talking about her boobs in the subtitles there. Anyway, no one even bothered to ask me what I'd do on the show, and Fred's like saying, "Oh, you did the." She just says, "I repeated the computer, Fred." But then Jason arrives, all cool. Nobody likes him, but he's oblivious to it. Anyway, so they're ready now. They can come out, but Alexander's going to have his panic attack and try and run out in a minute. There he was putting a coat on. We want the crew. They're all chanting now, and there you go. Alexander's trying to run out the door, but they stop him. But then they start introducing the cast. So they call Gwen DeMarco, so she's got to go out. Here she comes, there we are. Yoo-hoo, cake. He says, you will go out there. He goes, I won't. He says, you will. He says, nothing you say will stop me. That's my impression of Alan Rickman. And he says, the show must go on. He goes, damn you. So out he goes. He says he won't say the line, and that's his line. By Grabthar's hammer you shall be avenged. So he's a bit cross that he has he's saying it on the screen, but he didn't say it, so fair enough. That guy can act. So finally, it's the last one. It's Peter. Quincy. Taggart. There we go. Jason Nesmith, out he comes. That's it. Hamming it up. Obviously, he's the Kirk. He's the William Shatner of the series. And he could say, never give up, never surrender. And then they cut his microphone. And then it just says, the commander and his crew will be signing autographs on such and such deck next to the Coke machines. There you go. Imperial deck C and B near the Coke machines. Oh dear. Which is also kind of true, because at these conventions, sometimes they have a main hall where the autograph people, what do they call them, whatever, around sort of like the outside. But sometimes they scatter them about. If it's a big place, sometimes they do scatter them about in weird parts of the building. But anyway, right, here we see they're doing the autographs. Guy comes and says hello to Tommy. Says, nice intro you gave us today. And they say, no, you probably don't remember me. Hang on, let's get a shot of him. There we go. Probably don't remember me. It was in the show. How old is he then? Because this was like 18 years earlier. I guess, 17. This is supposed to be set in 1999, I'm guessing. And so 18. So how old is this? He doesn't look that old in this, does he? But he's like a teenager. Don't know. Love that he already has a new uniform. Who's got a new uniform? I don't know. Who's got a new uniform? I don't know. I'm not paying much attention to the uniforms, to be completely honest. Has Guy got a new uniform? I don't know. So he's saying they were in the episode 81. So it's near the end of its run, isn't it? What is it? 11 episodes from the end. Where he got killed in the first, crewman number 6, killed by a lava monster before the first commercial. Which is really early on, because they show a lot of commercials on American telly. Tim Allen. Oh, right, Tim Allen's got a new uniform. Pardon me. I don't. It does look slightly different, doesn't it, to theirs? I don't know. It was one he had custom made, probably. Anyway, here's Alexander Dane being fed up because his fans are going up to him, and there we go, doing his quote, and he just snatches the photos and signs it off. The 6x4s or whatever they are, the 8x6s, whatever they call them. Signs it, gives him it. The other one doesn't even get to say it, just snatches it off him. And there's Jason Nesmith, bonding with his fans and having some nice banter with them, and saying cool things. There you go, being all cool with him. And she's noticing is Gwen that the fans really do love him. And then Tommy says, yeah, almost as much as he loves himself. And so she smiles at that because she agrees. But Jason sees her smiling thinking it's at him. Thinks, oh, I've got a chance here, because he's always got the hots for Gwen DeMarco. Can't imagine why. Anyway, here comes Justin Long. There he is. As I've forgotten. What am I? I've seen this film a gazillion times. Hey, where are you? Brandon. Of course, Brandon. He's got a surname as well, and I can't remember what his surname is. It said it in the special features on this Blu-ray, and I've forgotten what his surname is. Does it say in this? Justin Long. No, it doesn't say on Wikipedia either. He does have a surname, but I can't remember what it is. Anyway, he's here with his friends in their Galaxy Quest uniforms. Justin has that too. Maybe it's dress uniform. Maybe they're different uniforms for different seasons, much like Stargate Atlantis. I've got a Stargate Atlantis Season 3 uniform. So maybe it's dress uniform or special version like Kirk's tunic. Well, that's how it could be different for different seasons. If they went for 4 seasons, maybe each season had a different uniform. Much like seasons 1 and 2 of Next Generation, their uniforms changed in Season 3, didn't they? But anyway, it could be something like that. Anywho, so here he is. He's getting ready with his relevant conundrum. He's going to ask him about that. And but this is when Jason sees Gwen, he thinks she's smiling at him, but she's not. So he goes over, and then she's with one of her fans, signing an autograph, and the fan is asking that in that episode there, was there something between Tawny and the commander. And he says, no, there never was. Then he arrives, saying, well, that's what she says. And the fans are like, ooh. Because, girls always want to ship them, don't they? Anyway, a chap comes up and says to Gwen, he must say it's time for the photo ops because she's going to do photos now. And he follows her and then gets intercepted by the Thermians from the Klaatu Nebula. This is Enrico Colantino. I've never seen him in anything else. I'm sure he's done a million other things. Enrico Colantoni, that's it. I'm sure he's done a million other things. But I don't recall seeing him in anything else. Let's have a look. What have I seen him in? Oh, he's in Contagion, which I've not seen. Oh, he's in AI. Artificial Intelligence as the murderer. I'll have to watch that again. It always makes me cry, though, does that film. He's been in loads of stuff. Oh, in the series Westworld. Oh, right. Cool. So he's been in loads of stuff. But by his own admission, I think before this, he was a theatre actor. He was in SG-1. Oh, was he? Cool. In the Fountain of Youth episode. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I have no memory whatsoever. Anyway, he's here. So, and there's Missy Pyle. I don't know who he is. He says, "Oh, is it about that thing?" He says, "All right, don't forget, get a limo and mum's the word." So they're all like going, mum, 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 mum. Anyway, there we go. So he goes over and he wants to basically seduce Gwen, but she fobs him off. There you go. She says, it was cute when I didn't know you. She walks off. There's all the fans. Kind of hot chick nerd fans, if you ask me. I wouldn't say no. Anyway, it goes into the toilets now. Now, there's 2 stories about this. The Fountain of the Youth episode. Yes, I've just remembered. It's that where they go into the jungle, innit? Yes, it's that one. He had a bandana and blue bubblegum. Blew up a guy with a grenade launcher. Oh, was that him? Like the crazy guy, sort of, wasn't he? All right. I didn't realise that was him. Great. Jack did not care for him. Yes, I know what you mean now. Yes. Didn't realise it was him. Anywho, right, so this scene is based on 2 stories, or could be 3, because in the behind the scenes, the director, Dean Parisot, however you pronounce it, and the writer, Robert Gordon, both started saying, this scene's based on my story. I went into the bathroom at a convention, and they both started saying it at the same time. And then they accused each other of stealing the stories. Anyway, the screenwriter then said, he went to the bathroom, saw 3 Klingons at the urinals, however you want to pronounce it. I said, that's it, that's going in the film. But it's also, as well, based, apparently, on a William Shatner story, where William Shatner was in a bathroom, a toilet. I think it was William Shatner. Wyn Grace will probably correct me. But he heard some guys come in and say, basically taking the mickey, saying that, they all hate each other and stuff like that. Or they all hate William Shatner, his own co-stars and stuff like that. I'm sure that was a William Shatner story. Or it could be somebody else. Anyway. But anyway, these guys come in, and that's what they're saying. Look, guys haven't had it's a bunch of losers. They haven't had a real acting job for 20 years. They all hate Jason Nesmith, talking about him behind his back. And that's when he kind of has a realisation. You'd thought it'd have happened before, wouldn't you, if they've been doing this for nearly 20 years. I mean, this is Galaxy Quest Con 18 or whatever the hell they call it. So anyway, so he's fed up now. So he's at his table now, just signing autographs and flicking it at the people. But anyway, Brandon comes back with his friends. How tall he is. With his friends with his relevant conundrum about something to do with the ship. And he says the online manual said they're not connected. What you'd said in the show, like nerdy stuff and geeky stuff that us fans take really seriously. This is where he says, "Look, it's just a TV show, okay?" And he says, "Yeah, I know that, but can you explain? But listen," he says, "Look, there's no ship. There's no auxiliary deck or whatever. No gamma override. There's no goddamn ship. And he shouts at him. And there you go, says that. And then gets up and storms off. Because he's angry. And he goes pushing through the fans, look. Ooh, and they're all like, oh. And even them are shocked at what he's done. Because he's never blown off at the fans like that. Is that a word, blown off? Anyway. Then we cut to later that evening. Gwen's at home, I presume. They must live in LA, because it's in LA. It's set in LA, by the way. By the way, that convention was filmed at, I can tell you in a minute, was filmed at the Hollywood Palladium on Sunset Boulevard. There we go. That's where the convention hall is. Right. So they've obviously been able to go home. They're not stopping in hotels. And especially, so she's on the phone to Alexander Dane, saying she's never seen Jason, explode at a fan like that. And he's home, still not taking his prosthetic off. I bet Armin Shimmerman just walked around as Quark all the time as well. But anyway, so she's surprised by that. So anyway, then we cut to Jason's house, which is at, just a minute, Nesmith's house, Stahl House, Case House 22, Woods Drive, Los Angeles. And I bet this is an expensive house. Because we see it. Hang on, I'm too far. Oh, never mind. I thought we saw it from I think we see it from further back, and it's overlooking the city, so it's. It could do with some curtains, couldn't it? I'd be super. I'd be thinking, oh no, too many people could look in, particularly if he's quasi famous. But anyway. He's in his underpants and his shirt, boozing. It's kind of a suggestion that he's a borderline alcoholic. But he's going through the channels, just happens to find Galaxy Quest is on. He vaguely remembers the lines, and then basically drinks himself into oblivion. Oh, there we go. There we get a wide shot of his house. I bet this is expensive real estate. Anyway, he's asleep on the floor. We see this like twice in quick succession here. Jason being awakened by a Thermian. Anyway, he's on the floor of his house. There they are. They've arrived of the Thermians. They're knocking on the window. So he gets up. And I understand this is a terrible breach of protocol. By the way the Thermians talk is all Enrico Colantoni's. It was him, basically. He came up with it. And they just said, do what he does. And they also had alien school for learning how to walk like the Thermians. They walk kind of like puppets, like Thunderbird puppets, sort of, with their hands going up and down like that. Because they're not human, even though they look human, they're just, I don't know if it's like a hologram or whatever, as we'll see. They've got tentacles and stuff. So anyway, I'm not entirely sure how it works, but they've come to his house, and he says, you shouldn't have come to my house. But then they're telling him all about Saris is slaughtering their people. You are our only hope. He says, we have secured the limousine. There you go. And he says, oh, right, it's that thing. Right, it's that thing. So just give me a minute to get dressed. I better put some pants on. So he says, come in. So if you find look for a boot. Like this, so they're all like looking, because they don't know stuff, do they? Didn't Missy Pyle not speak because she couldn't do the alien voice, or is that a myth? No, she does speak. We hear her speak, but we hear her speak in Thermian, don't we? Because a translator's broken in the limo, and she goes like that, whatever it is. But she does speak later on, but she just got a normal voice. She doesn't speak like him. Like Enrico, she's just got a normal voice, hasn't she? So maybe she couldn't do the Thermian accent, maybe. So, but she just has a regular voice, doesn't she? I think Missy Pyle's super hot as well. Not as what they call Laliari or whatever her character is. But in the behind the scenes, the interviews with her, I think bloody hell, she's gorgeous. But anyway, So, right, they're in the limousine. There's Rainn Wilson with his few lines that he's got. He's lank, senior requisition officer. He can't really do the voice either. He's just kind of speaking in kind of a stilted way. I mean, really, it's only Enrico that really speaks in that weird way that he does. It must be unique to him. She's much better looking in Dodgeball. It's been a while since I've seen that. But yeah, she was in something else as well. Was she in one of the Home Alones? Can't remember. Anyway, so right, so he said, "Can I have a Coke?" So Coca-Cola. So he goes, so giving that. He's talking to Laliari and saying she doesn't say much, but this chap, whose name I've forgotten because I'm useless. Let's have a look. Is it Quellec? I think he's Quellec, isn't he? Yes. By the way, Enrico Colantoni's Mathazar. What's his face? Oh, I just said Rainn Wilson's lank. This chap on here is Quellec. I think I could be wrong. Hang on, because there's others as well. Or is he Teb? I don't know. No, it might be Teb. I think he's Teb. Home Alone, also Charlie and the Chocolate Factory depth version. I've never seen that, and I don't think I ever will. The Gene Wilder one will do. Right, I think he's Teb, isn't he? I think Quellec. Yeah, Quellec's another chap. Right, so there we go. Her translator is broken. That's where she does the. Then he says, had a late night fighting a Fangor beast, so I'm just going to shut my eyes for a bit, but don't worry, I'm listening. So he carries on talking about, Teb carries on talking about in the 5 million years following the Great Nebula Burst, and then our people were one people, then came the Zacta migration, and then the Melosian shift. I always thought it said Melosian ship. So I thought, I wonder what the Melosian ship did, but it's Melosian shift. And then says first clue that all is not as it seems. The limo pulls up into an alley and then gets pulled up into the sky. I don't know, kind of an early reveal. That could be explained away, I suppose, if you wanted to, because you don't really see anything. You just kind of a hint of a light. Anyway, this dog appears and just barks up at the sky. But anyway. Then we cut to where we do fade out and fade in. And then she's got a normal voice on now. She's saying, Commander. She wakes him up. And there we go, he gets up, he's all drooling. So he's on the ship. So I'm going to take him to the bridge. And here we go. I thought this was a too early reveal. We just see Saris's ship. So we know we're in space now. I thought they should have left it until, I don't know, maybe later. But I suppose they had to reveal it at some point, didn't they? But this is Saris's ship, which kind of reminds me of Cayman from the Lambda Zone ship from Battle Beyond the Stars. A kind of lumpy version of that, a little bit. In that, it's got a big hole at the front. Or maybe you could say it looks like the Planet Killer, or whatever they called it. In Doomsday Machine from Star Trek. Anyway, so they take him to the bridge, and he's like saying, "Oh, this is good. It's usually just some basement with some walls and things." He still thinks, he doesn't know it's real. So anyway, so Saris is calling there. So that's Robin Sachs. He's played Saris. Robin Sachs has been in stuff like Babylon 5 and stuff like that. By the way, the makeup effects in this film are by Stan Winston Studios. Really good. And the visual effects are by Industrial Light and Magic. So they went all out, didn't they, in this? And there he goes saying, this is Saris being all aggressive. He drinks his Coke. There's the Commander. And he says, fire, plasma beam, or whatever he says, left. And, what's the Omega-13, by the way, this Saris? Somehow he's learned about it. There we go. Fire blue particle for cannons full, red particle cannons full. And then, what else does it say? Something left and right. There we go. Gannet magnets, whatever they are. Left and right. Then let them run all shoots. whatever that means, and then he says, toss that at him. So that should deal with him, old pointy head. That's a sexy Zindi, is it? And so he says, right, so I better get back. I've got to go back to Earth. So he says, obviously, he doesn't realise. He thinks he's looking for the exit. He's got another gig in Van Nuys. So he says, they give him a Vox, a communicator. So he says, oh, that's cool. And then he says, hey, where's my limo? And then it all goes dark, and then the light comes on. Gets surrounded by not great CG goo. And then the door opens, and he realises he's not in a basement somewhere. He's actually on a spaceship. We see some sort of ring planet and a nebula and blah, blah, blah. And then he goes flying through space and into a black hole. There we go. A proper black hole. Not these silly black holes like you see, you know, in rubbish films like Interstellar and stuff like that, you know. Or Star Trek Discovery. A proper black hole. It looks like a plug hole. Anyway. Not a plug hole. Yes, a plug hole. Whatever. You know what I mean. Something swirling down a plug hole. Anyway, and then he appears back at his house. So they're really good at aiming. They've got really accurate coordinates. And he just appears there, kind of steaming, and wondering what's going on. And the aspect ratio changes again here. Did it? Oh, I'm not paying attention. Hang on, let's have a look. Does it? No, it's still the same. It's 16:9, isn't it? 16:9. Oh, right. Hang on. Oh, no, it does. No, it just looks like it does. Because we're looking like through. Like, this is filmed from underneath one of these, isn't it? This whatever it is, concourse or whatever, and it just looks like the aspect ratio's changed. You on about that there and that there? No, it's not quite. Oh, when the space doors opened, it's supposed to. Oh, right, well, not in this version. Not in this version, it didn't. I don't know if it did on the Blu-ray. You got me wondering now, but it doesn't. Let's have a look then. No, it's just the same, isn't it? It might depend on the version. Or the theatrical version or whatever, you know, the one that you saw in the cinema, maybe that changed. I don't know. Looks the same to me. But anyway. Yeah. Don't know. Must be cropped on the Blu-ray. Yeah, probably. Maybe so. I didn't see it at the cinema, so I don't know. I don't know if it changed at the cinema. Anyway, where were we? Right, so it's the next day, isn't it? So the gang are at Tech Value grand opening. This was filmed at Tech Value Peterson Automotive Museum on Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles. Is Tech Value. So they're here to open this store. The crew of the NSEA Protector. By the way, Guy's there as well. You can see him there at the end. I thought, what's he doing there? He's just tagging along, isn't he? It seems to be. Or maybe he's working for him. Maybe he's working for the, you know, maybe it's part of the convention, you know, itinerary or whatever, I don't know. Maybe he's working, you know, in that capacity. As kind of a gopher for them. Or something. I don't know. But anyway, here we go. They're going through, saying their line, never seen better space age values like we've seen here at Tech Value. And then it's time for Alexander Dane's line. He's got to say it. She gives him a nudge. And he does the immortal lines. Hang on. I'm gonna play this, so I'll have to unmute it. Because it is the funniest thing. I think it's the funniest line in the film.
By Grabthar's hammer. What a savings.
Just where he says it. What a savings. Which is a word that an English person wouldn't use. A savings. We wouldn't say that. But anyway. Right, so Brandon and his mates, they're here for day 2. How tall is he? He's like a bloody alien, isn't he? He's like, what's it, Eric's or whatever, Eric's from Star Trek animated series, isn't he? They're heading for that. I don't know if they're going to that opening. But Peter arrives, and not Peter, Jason arrives and bumps into them because he's rushed down there. And as we can see, they drop the Voxers, and they see 2 Voxers on the floor, and he picks one up and runs off with it. Gives the other one to Brandon. Says, just blanks him, just carries on. He says, I did it again. Anyway, so he rushes over to them. They're signing autographs again. I think that tall kid was an alien in Men in Black, or it looks like someone who was. Or maybe he's just genuinely an alien, that's what I say. But he's very tall. Let's have a look. Let's have a look while we're at it. Kyle, Jeremy Howard. He's in Galaxy Quest. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles out of the whatever it was. Been in Grey's Anatomy, Breaking Bad. Lots of TV he's done lots of TV. Lady in the Water, we're in that as well. A film I didn't mind. Not Shyamalan's greatest, but it was, I didn't mind it. Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show. Men in Black 2. Played Bird Guy Alien in Men in Black 2. So there you go. What are you Men in Black 1 though? No. Not according to IMDb. Right. So Windgrace was right again. Because he always is. Right. Anyway, so he interrupts the fans getting their autographs by saying, he's raving like a lunatic, saying you were there, it were real, and they were there, the termites or stuff, whatever they called them. They think he was just drunk, and they ignore him, and he tries to contact them on the Vox. Obviously, he's got Brandon's fake one. Hang on, a minute. I can't get to it. It's got things on top of it. I mean, who would have a communicator from a sci-fi show? Oh dear, what a loser, eh? Anyway, right, where were we? Talking into the Vox. Obviously, it's the fake one. He's given Brandon his real one. They all show him their Voxers. By the way, it's good changing the names of things in this, so it's not getting sued by Paramount. The transporter is the digital conveyor, warp speed is a time knot, etc. Communicators are Vox. Anyway, right. So, Lally arrives, and she says, Sarius lives. You've got to come back, and is agreed to negotiate again. They want you to come back, and so he said, "Oh, they want me to come back. It's the termites." I'm still angry. I never got a tricorder toy when I was a kid. They were cool, weren't they? The original series ones, not like the Next Generation ones, but the original series was the little TV screen that never worked. Imagine how much cooler I would have been running around scanning things. Yes. Anyway, speaking of tricorders, me and my mate were watching the Next Generation episode last Thursday. Which one was it now? Something, I can't remember, the to do something, I can't remember what it was now. I think the main computer was down. I can't remember what it was now. I can't even remember what bloody episode it was. But LaForge says we could just network a few tricorders together. To replace the main computer, which is like, 4 decks deep or whatever. But anyway, never mind. Anyway, right, so they're still not convinced even when she arrives. So he's going to go back, and he's saying, I'm not crazy, you've got to come with me. But she says to him, it's sad when you do it to us, but it's even worse when you do it to your fans, and they walk off. He says, well, but they're the termites. Just Thames, I 3D printed my own tricorder a year back. Cool. I wish they allowed you to put pictures in the chat, because I'd want to see a photo of it. I have a couple I bought as well. Awesome. I think I've got a Star Trek Enterprise tricorder or scanner, whatever they call them. I think. Can't remember. Might have. Can you 3D print a replicator? A Stargate one, yes. Anyway, so they're not going with him. So now they're sitting in the MPV, or minibus, whatever you want to call it, and saying, he's drunk and all that. But Fred is saying, you should have taken the gig, because you never know when he's going to ask us again. So they all decide to go, because they're still thinking that it's just another, like an appearance for fans or whatever. And here we see guys trying to chat up this young lady from the Tech Value store. Cool. I'll 3D print David Ogden Steers right away. Not that replicator. Even in Star Trek, I know, once he played that fella that had to kill himself, didn't he? The Waxana Troy were in love with him. And that planet where they reach the age of 60 or something, that do away. It was like Logan's Run, but instead of being 30, it was 60, wasn't it? I didn't like that episode. Anyway, he's chatting up her, but she says, but you live with your mother. But anyway. Saying, right, where's Jason? He says he's in there, but they're going there and he's not there anymore. But Laliari is there. And says, they want to go to the ship. He says, yes, we wish to go to the ship. And she says, okay, 4 pads or whatever she says. And then he pops in. there's Guy. And says, I'm going to. And you go 5 pods, not pads, pods for immediate departure. And then we see that she's a hologram and she disappears there, just seeing that look. There you go, she disappears there. Isn't she gorgeous? I can't get over it. And I've never been a huge fan of Sigourney Weaver, in the looks department. She's fine, and I'm not saying she's ugly or anything, but she's never really done it for me, even in Alien. But in Galaxy Quest, she looks amazing. Anyway, so they're all disappearing now, and Fred's trying to get something out of the whatever machine it is. We'll call it a replicator. And he looks round, and the pad must just appear, so he must step on it at some point. I don't know, but he arrives later. Right, so they're appearing now in the transporter. But this isn't a digital conveyor. This is different, isn't it? Because they've travelled. I don't know what they call this thing. What they've travelled in, because they've come from another planet, haven't they? It's loose, fast and loose. But anyway, they've all arrived and they're all shocked. They're in some sort of transporter fugue. And then we hear noises. We hear the chittering and chattering, kind of almost Lovecraftian noises that we hear coming from outside the room. The door opens, and here we go. Here come the Thermians come in. I don't know what they're doing. They're all going with all the tentacles and stuff, and the tentacles are holding instruments, so they're prodding and poking them with instruments and things. Why? Don't know. But they're all standing there, like, shocked. And then he says, Activate there. There you go. They're is that Crewman Daniels? Looks like him, doesn't it? We forgot to activate our whatever they call them. There you go. Appearance generators. It does look like. Is that Crewman Daniels? I'm going to check that. It does look like him to me. Don't know if he's got a name in this. I don't know who played Crewman Daniels. That'd be easy to look that up, wouldn't it? Just bear with me. We're live and I don't care. Star Trek Enterprise, Crewman Daniels. I bet it's not him. Matt Winston. There we go. Matt Winston, I think. Am I going to find him? There we go. Right, what else has he done? Known for. Go all the way back. I bet it's not him. And Windgrace is already saying, it's not him, but I'm still looking. We're getting there. I'm scrolling down the list, and it's not him. It's not him. Oh, hang on. It is. Yes, it is. It is him. Galaxy Quest. Technician 1. Yes. Crewman Daniels. There we go. Yes. Oh, so I told you Windgrace would get there first. Matt Winston. Yes, so Crewman Daniels tells them forgot about their appearance generators. So what if they'd not forgot about their appearance generators? Would they have gone in and still be prodding them and poking them with all that equipment? And they had like several arms and tentacles or whatever, didn't they? Each holding, I don't know. But as I said, you're not supposed to take it seriously. Yes, Galaxy Quest, Matt Winston, that's technician number 1, yes. I got there in the end. Anyway, so here's the commander in his new uniform. Are they like the equivalent of Captain's Pips, little Pac-Mans? And then guy just screams and I think he genuinely makes Sigourney Weaver jump. I think he genuinely made her jump then. Supposedly the studio wanted them to remove the alien costumes and they just said okay and filmed it anyway. Right. I don't understand that. Anyway, so he screams and goes anybody else, and then Fred arrives. There he goes. Fred arrives. He says that was a hell of a thing. It's not supposed to be like high or whatever. Some people have suggested, it's like a dope fiend or whatever, or it's always be smoking something. But in the behind the scenes, they said he's kind of just burnt out, permanently burnt out. So he's just going with the flow for everything, and not worrying about anything. So that's what he's supposed to be like. And then turns around there, looks at them. What's wrong with them? Don't know. So right. So they've to head to the bridge. But before that, they've got to meet the crew. Mathazar got to meet the crew. Dr. Lazarus and Lieutenant Madison. And all the others behind him are going, Lieutenant Madison. Hang on. They thought the octopus costumes were too scary, but they spent so much on them they didn't want to remove it and filmed it against the will of the higher-ups. Well, let's see him a couple of times, don't we? See one later on, don't we? That's been tortured by Saris. Anywho. I imagine they cost a lot as well, from Stan Winston. I imagine they were pretty expensive, so you need to give them some film time. Get your money's worth. Anyway, so they meet Tony Madison. And then we go, young Laredo, how you've grown. Tech Sergeant Chen. In a minute. There we go, Tech Sergeant Chen. Don't know how to whisper it. And they don't know who he is, so he just goes, Guy. Oh, it starts saying crewman number, and it just goes, Guy. And so they go, Guy. Right, so it's telling them, all about the how they know about them, how they know the names. This is where we learn about the historical documents. They've been receiving what they think are historical documents, obviously radio, transmissions, TV transmissions that have gone into space. So the Thermia must be less than 20 light years away. Um, we'll call it 20 because it'll be like 22 years since season 1, won't it? If it's 18 years since the end of season 4, so we'll call it 22 years since season 1. So it must be. We'll say it's 20 light years away. Yeah, that's how we say that at least, because that's how long it'd take a TV signal to get to get there. Anyway, unless it's closer, it could be even closer for all we know. There could be an Alpha Centauri for all we know. So, but anyway, it's no further than that. It's no further than 20 light years. That's what I'm trying to say. It's no further than 20 light years. Unless the historical documents travelled through that black hole. Well, there is that. There is that. And is that their only way to get to another planet through that black hole? So how do the... Is it like the Bajoran wormhole that just connects, Bajor to the Gamma Quadrant? Does that black hole just connect Thermia to Earth? Don't know. Not supposed to take it seriously, I suppose. Don't overthink it. But anyway, the historical documents. Right. So she says, is this a spaceship? She says, no, it's a starport for the ship. So we're going to see the ship now. She said, do you want to see the ship? So there we go. This is where we're going to see the NSEA Protector 2. Because obviously Protector 1's from the TV show. So they call this the Protector 2. And it's in the starport. On the behind the scenes, there weren't any, really, special features about the visual effects. Which were weird. Not about the ship anyway. There was a little bit about the little aliens that we're going to see later. And obviously the Stan Winston, the practical effects, but not a lot about the visual effects. So I don't know what's CG and what's practical. I don't know, like models and stuff. I've no idea. But anyway, so there we see the ship. NTE 3120, NSEA Protector. I think it's like National Space Exploration Agency or something like that, or administration or something, I can't remember. But remember, he's still thinking it's just cool, even though he's had this brush with death with Saris already. He still thinks it's this cool adventure is going on. They're terrified, the rest of them, well, most of them, apart from Fred. But he kind of doesn't realise the pardon the pun, the gravity of the situation. They're going on this adventure, but the Thermians, an entire species is at risk, and he really is their only hope, because we find out later on that the only Thermians that are left are these doing the on the Protector or on this starport, and we see where the starport is. And I've seen that suggestion somewhere online that that's what's left of Thermia. It's in like a shattered planet, but I don't know if that's true or not. Anyway, right, so they're on the ship. There's the beryllium sphere, which is like the warp core of the Protector. So how did... Because that's from the TV show, so how did they get it to... does beryllium come in spheres like that? And would it work to power a ship? I said, the Thermians are, they're amazing, aren't they? They just get stuff to work. Anyway, they're saying that they should go home. They're not astronauts, they're actors. Wingrace says, I love the NTE. Does it stand for anything? I don't know. Is it an acronym? I don't know. Or is it just made up like NCC? Some people say it stands for Naval Construction Contract, but I don't think Gene Roddenberry ever thought of that. I think that's not canon, is it? I don't know what NTE stands for. Oh, is that what it stands for? Not the Enterprise. Oh, right. See, right. Cool. Anyway, so he talks them interstate. Oh no, they want to go, but they can't. They said they're going to leave. They're going to get in the escape pods or whatever. And I think he says, "Oh no, that's later, isn't it? That's later. No, they're not going to leave yet. They're going to go and get something to eat first. After meeting the rest of the crew, here's the barracks. So there's quite a lot of Thermians left, using their appearance generators. So he's inspecting the crew, and Alexander Dane says it's like pouring gas on a flame, or petrol on a flame, whatever he says. And then guys staring at Alexander Dane. He's like, what? So I'm just jazzed about being on the show, man, because I think he's still like in denial. He thinks he's still in the TV show. Right, so, and this is it, they're at the bridge now. And there they are, taking their positions on the bridge, and Tommy says, "Oh look, it's just like we're in the show. I worked all this out." And so they're getting ready to launch, and some other Thermians come walking in like that, for this historic moment. So says, "Now, Laredo, take us out." Says, "Excuse me?" Says, "They made that watching you on the show." So, off you go. So, luckily, it's pretty simple. As you can see there, start engines on the screen there. And there's also a turbo button that we can see later on. I don't know if we can see it here. No, we can't. But anyway, so it starts the engines. Then all the... Have I missed it? We see it all come to life. There we go. Impulse engines, essentially. So then he starts, off we go, we're going out of the space dock. Say, cool effects, very Star Trek. Really cool. And everything's going lovely, but then the ship starts drifting to the left as they go. There you go, start to drift to the left, and they're all leaning that way. And Guy says, you need to go that way. But he says, no. But I don't exactly know how this works. You've got to move more to the right, that's it. Then it starts scraping it down the I don't know how this works, because there's all this huge wing. This big thing. Hang on. There's all that, isn't there? On the side of it, back there. So how is it scraping down there? I don't know, but anyway. It was scraping the wall. It's just comedy. Anyway, they get out. Everything's fine. As we'll see. There we go. There it comes. Just a bit of paint work. It's fine. Out it comes, out of the space. Oh, there we go. Don't make sense, does it? There's all that huge bit there. Did it retract? It must have done. Oh dear. Right, and then we see, there we go, the ship flying away from the spaceport. Let's say it's obviously built into some shattered planet. It's still got some atmosphere as well. Let's say some have suggested this is what's left of Thermia being destroyed by Saris, but I don't know if that's true or not. That's it. And they're oblivious to all this. The Protector crew, the humans. Anyway, so it's dinner time. They're having the dinner. He's having his corn-fed Iowa steak or whatever. Poor Alexander's probably going to starve to death unless he steals somebody else's food, because he's not going to eat his what they call them, mock blood ticks. Meat. Just like Mother used to make. And it jumps off his spoon. We see Guy choking on some noodles or something like that. Does it show it? Where is it? We see Guy choking on some noodles. There it is. It puts that in his Let me see him choking. Is he going to show it there? He's always doing same things in the background. Is Guy Fleegman. So he's choking on that, whatever it is. Right, so Jason asks how Saris knew about the omega-13, because he said, has Saris seen the historical documents? He says, thank goodness he hasn't. Says, so how has he heard about the omega-13? Wingate says they're just bioengineering an entire species only for someone to eat who won't eat them. Yeah, well, essentially, yes. The geniuses, aren't they? The Thermians. They could rule the galaxy. If only they weren't so innocent and nice. It's asking about the omega-13. You know, they don't know what it does. They don't know what it does. Even though they've made it, they've built one, they don't know what it does. And Jason says, we don't know. We found it on an alien planet. Oh, he says, we found it on the alien planet. We don't know what it does. So that's where he's saying that. It says they're on an alien planet, but I'm sure in the film it says on the alien planet. But anyway, never mind. They don't know what it does either. And there you go. They think it'll cause a chain reaction that'll destroy the universe. So anyway, no pressure. So yes, how does Saris know about omega-13 if he's not seen the historical documents? And that's where he says, I'm sorry, the former commander wasn't as strong as you. Saris captured him and tortured him for information, and the tape was smuggled off Saris's ship. There we go. 3 days of torture. And there we see, let's see, another one of the suits that the studio execs didn't like. They're torturing him. So obviously blabbed about the omega-13. That's when they decide they want to go back home now. Now they know the stakes and it's real. And he's saying, look, I've got to go. I'm the guy who dies in. He's the red shirt. He thinks he's the red shirt of the show, which essentially he is. But he's not. But we'll get to that. So we've got to prepare transports, to send them home. And he says, no, Saris is there, and he'll detonate anything leaving the ship. Thanks for pronouncing Omega the American way for all of us. Yeah, well, yeah. In Bad Batch, I'd be saying Amiga, hadn't I? I'd make the effort. It was your Independence Day a few days ago, so, I'm being nice. Right, so they go back to the bridge because they can't escape now. They've got to see it through, and they say that where's everybody? And he says that Thermians are not very good with tactical operating, tactical instruments. It's disastrous. So anyway, Saris appears on screen. Now we can now see he's got a big eye patch on, very General Chang. And says, Saris looking good. And he says, not as good as my lieutenant. And he holds up his lieutenant's head on a stick because he didn't get the shields up as fast as he hoped. So there he goes, give me the Omega-13 or I will destroy your ship. And he says, well, we don't know where it is. And he says, you have 10 seconds. He says, all right, gosh darn it. Just give me a minute. I've got to put it in a box for you. And then he goes to Gwen and goes like that. Doing the old, cut the transmission, but she doesn't know. There he goes, looking at that, and she's like, she doesn't know what he's talking about, or what he wants her to do. So he's telling Guy to press them buttons and fire everything at him, but obviously Guy doesn't know what to do either. He says, right, put us back on. And she says, you are on. Because he calls Saris ugly as well. He's as stupid as he is ugly. And then Saris comes back. He's still there. He heard everything. He says, apparently I'm not as stupid or ugly as you thought. There you go. So he's going to send them a present. So he's fired a missile. Saris fires missiles. He doesn't have like laser guns, it appears, but and there's seen it on the thing. There's a red thing heading for the green thing. I think we're the green thing, and here we go. Cool effects. Cool effects. It fires even more. Look, likes his missiles. So Tommy's got to get them out of there. So off they go. With Saris in hot pursuit, firing missiles at them. So they're gaining on them. So he says, right, so there's a turbo button. There we go. Turbo boost. You can just see it there. We're gonna can't really make it out. But it says turbo boost. It said start engines earlier on, but whatever. So hit the turbo boost. Much like in Battlestar Galactica, hit the turbos. But they're not supposed to, it's for short control, bursts of speed. You're not supposed to hold it down. And then Fred comes on the screen saying, that basically the engines are going to blow up if we carry on. And behind him, there's all like people, all stuff blowing up and people falling about. By the way, the bridge was built on a big gimbal, and so they were really being thrown about in this. The ship's breaking apart and all that, just FYI. But there we see one of the engines shuts down. But they're going to hide. Says, "Can we hide in that cloud?" And then don't think that's a cloud. And Mathazar tells them that it's a minefield left over. There we go, from the Great War of 12185. And I thought, I bet that's somebody's birthday. I bet it's one of the kids' birthdays. The production crew, 1st of December 1985. I bet it is. Anyway, or something. It'll be a date. It'll be an important date, won't it? I bet it is. So here they go. They're heading into the minefield. And we learn that the mines are magnetic, so they're attracted to the ship and they start blowing up like that. And Alexander says, "Can you not try not to hit every single one of them?" That's what he says. "I think they're magnetic." Saris decides not to follow him in because he's not Khan. Should have gone on the comm, shouldn't he? To Jason and said, "Are you ready for a rematch, Saris?" But never mind. He doesn't. Says patience. So they're going to wait him out. Although they don't. They wait for a while, but obviously they must get through somehow. Because later on, never mind, we'll get to that. So anyway, basically the ship gets there. We see more explosions and stuff, and the ship is essentially crippled. There we see it's drifting. It's a drifting space. With the engine shutting down. There we go. Cool. Right, so Tommy's broke his arm. So Mathazar, the super strong, picks him up, takes him to the, whatever they call it. They call it sick bay, medical bay, I don't know. Medical quarters. Oh, that's where Alexander says, "I'm going to see if there's a pub." Right. So obviously there mustn't be, or maybe there is, I don't know. 10 forward style place. Anyway, so the working out how damaged they are, and they're really, really damaged. Everything's like, hardly operating. That's where she's repeating everything the computer tells them. Good thing they're only magnetic and not self-replicating. Maybe they are. Don't know. Maybe they do. Who knows? Did Rom design them? So anyway, they need a new beryllium sphere. This is where she's repeating the what the computer says, and Tommy says that is getting really annoying. As we can see, he's got a thing on his broken arm there. But she says, "I've one job on this lousy ship, and I'm going to do it as it's stupid, but I'm going to do it okay." Anyway, Mathazar's apologising, but he says, "No, it's our fault. It's not your fault, Mathazar." And they're trying to tell him, that they're not really, space adventurers, that they're actors, but they don't understand. They've seen other historical documents. Bet Josh Temple has beryllium spear. Bet he does. I don't even know what beryllium is. Never looked it up. They've seen other historical documents. So, at least we know they've seen Gilligan's Island, because they think that's real as well. Those poor people. Anyway, so, they can't get through to them that it's, they don't know. But they say, don't you know anything about, things that are not real? And then they talk about deception and lies, and they've come to learn what this means, this concept means, because from Saris, because he said he would promise one thing and then do another, like promise to make peace and then bring destruction and stuff like that. But they say, but if you are saying that any of you have anything in common with Saris, Anyway, then Fred comes on the comm. There's Rain Wilson in the background. He's obviously an engineer, then, isn't he? I thought he was a requisitions officer. Anyway, it says they found some beryllium on a nearby planet, so they're going to jump in a shuttle and head over. They're going to get the ship there, and then they're going to jump in a shuttle to travel down. They're arriving at the planet. This is I think this is I forgot the name already. Quellac. There we go. That's Quellac, isn't it? I think. Josh Temple's printing a beryllium sphere. Why couldn't they do that? And he's saying how much he admires Dr. Lazarus, and he starts saying that by Grabthar's hammer, and says, "Stop that! I mean it." There you go. Right, here's a shuttle. It's very Star Trek. Well, you get the feeling that the front of the shuttle, though, they started off just making a Star Trek shuttlecraft, and somebody said, you need to change it, so the back end they made it different. The front end just looks like a Star Trek shuttlecraft. Anyway, so here they go. Everybody's going. All the Galaxy Quest crew are going. Quellac gives Dr. Lazarus his tricord. It's got a surface map of the call. It was his tricord. So it'll show him where the beryllium sphere is. So anyway, Tommy's flying them down. Just knows how to do it. Fred's eating snacks, some sort of cheese thing, whatever. Everybody's gripping on, but Fred's super relaxed. And this is where he thinks he's going to die because he hasn't got a name. So he says, "I wish I hadn't come because, it's not important enough to have a last name." And I was saying, "You've got a last name, guy." They go, "Mommy." Says, "Do I have a last name?" See, Fred's fine with it. And he does have a last... Well, he's carried... Because they know his name, because we hear in a minute, Jason tell him his last name. He calls him Fleegman, so he knows his last name. So unless he's talking about his character, doesn't have a last... Crewman number 6. Don't know. But they all call him Guy. So anyway, whatever. Right, see, the shuttle lands. It's essentially a Star Trek shuttle at the front, but they've changed the back end. This were filmed in Goblin Valley State Park in Utah. That's where this were filmed. So, right, here we go. They landed. And Fred just opens the door, and this is where Guy again freaks out. He said, "You can't just open the door. Is there air? You don't know." And he takes a deep breath. He holds his breath. There you go. "Is there air? You don't know." He says, "Seems okay." So off they go. Looking for beryllium, and Alexander were holding the thing the wrong way round. And he says, "It's this way." And they go, "Oh, just a minute." And turns it round. "It's this way." He says, "Oh, I thought you were really smart for a minute there." Anyway, right, so here we go. They find some mining facility. Where are the miners? And then we see them. But then see beryllium spheres as well. But then we see one of the miners. There we go. One comes out, look. Oh, the few of them come out. And he says, oh, they're miners. They look like little children. Maybe they're the miners. Says, yeah, they're like 3 years old. There you go. Is it miners, not miners? You've lost me. There you go. But Guy, is always right, essentially, in this film, apart from himself, apart from about himself, but he's always right about the situations that they're in. He's saying he doesn't like this at all. She's going, they're so cute. And she's, she wants to go out and talk to them, but he drags her back. He says, yeah, they're cute now, but suddenly they'll turn vicious. There you go. In a second, they're going to get mean. And then a little hurt one comes out. Look, he's hurt his leg. It comes out. And she's like, oh, look. They're going to help it. But they don't. They're going to eat it. Look, they eat it. They just tear it apart. So they've got to get out of here before one of those things kills Guy. But Guy's the safest person in this film. Anyway, but they've got to get a sphere. So Jason's going to distract them. Using the what they did in episode 81. And Guy's saying, I'm going to show you this episode 81. Pardon me, I died in that episode. Oh dear. As I said, Guy's the safest one. He's in no danger. But anyway, and then they go, oh no, okay, episode 51 then. Right. So they've got to go and cause a distraction while they steal a beryllium sphere. Right. I think it's where it says Fleegman, by the way. There you go. Fleegman, you set up a perimeter. So he does know his last name. Unless he meant his character doesn't have a last name. But whatever. Anyway, so off they go. So they're taking the sphere. And but lots of they've gone up to look, see if any of them's coming, the miners. But then, lots of them are coming now, look. So they're running to the shuttle. And, hang on, gone too far. And they take off, but the commander falls out, and they've got to leave him behind. Got to get the beryllium sphere back up to the ship. Then they can use the digital conveyor to beam him out. So the commander wakes up. There you go. They're all looking and talking in their own language. Looks like a child. And then they knock him out. And they say, let's eat it. And they knock him out with a stone. Then he wakes up. He's being licked by, there you go, a creature which is probably a small person in there. Warwick Davis, perchance. Probably not. Does it? I wonder if it says in the cast list. Where's the cast list? Where have I put it? Here it is. All cast and crew. Let's have a look. Does it say? No, it doesn't say. Prostitute with alien, uncredited. When did that happen? No idea. No, I don't know. Don't know what it's called. You'd think they'd have a credit, wouldn't you? But never mind. Who's in that? Because obviously a little person in there, isn't there? But I can't find it on IMDb. Can't find it. Never mind. He was licking him anyway. Kind of reminded me of Stargate, the movie, when Daniel Jackson were being licked by that, whatever it was. On Abydos, even though it wasn't called Abydos in the film, but never mind. Me thinks it's Gorignac. That's what he thinks, because they're all the miners are chanting Gorignac. but they think it's that. And but they're going to use the digital conveyor to beam him up. It's never been tested before, so they're going to try it out on what they think's Gorignac. So anyway, but Fred's got to do it because they designed it using his motions. Pig lizard, that's what they call it, pig lizard. Right, so they beam it up. Here we go. I'm going to show it. Right, they've got it. They beam it up, but something's gone horribly wrong. And it's inside out. And then it explodes. There we go. It's the animal, but the animal is inside out, and it exploded. There we go, like that. So there's chunks of pig lizard flying about. I wonder if this is a 12 certificate. That'd be like equivalent to PG-13, but in the UK it's a 12 certificate. I wonder if it's that. It's not the F-bomb, which we don't hear, but we just see later. Anyway, so it didn't work for the pig lizard, but then they're still chanting Gorignac. So this is where we learn what it's spelled Gorignac, but it sounds like they're pronouncing it Gorgnac to me. But anyway, this is, I'm going to say Gorgnac because that's what it sounds like. It's a rock monster. I wonder if this is what they'd have been like in Star Trek 5 if William Shatner had got his way. So he's got to escape that and say, "No, Fred, you've got to do it. You've got to beam him up. Only you can save him." And he says, "I can't do it." So Alexander gets on the Vox and says, first guy says, "Look around you. Can you make some sort of rudimentary lathe?" But then Alexander says, "You've got to find out its motivation, what it wants." He said, "It doesn't have motivation, it's a big rock." So, anyway, they talk him into doing it. And, the commander talks him into doing it. Jason says, "I know you can do it." Says, "You were the best, you never missed a line, you always hit your spots," and all that stuff. But there you go, "Digitise me, Fred." So, just as he stands on him, or squishes him, they beam him up and he's fine, and he's got his, "See, you got your shirt off." So everybody's happy. So anyway, so they've got the beryllium sphere installed, they're back to full power, and he tries to contact Mathazar. This is where we learn that they're the only Thermians left, because they said, "We have no reason to go back." Says, "Be back on Thermia in no time." There's no reason to go back, because we are all that's left. So, that's heady stuff. Tim Allen met his wife training for this shirtless scene, didn't he? All right. A lot of people don't like Tim Allen because of his dodgy past. He had a slightly dodgy past, didn't he? With drugs and all that. Did he get a conviction, or he did some plea bargain or something, didn't he? Anyway, they can't get through to Mathazar because it turns out that Saris is there. There we go. Saris is on the ship. So he's obviously got round the minefield somehow and met him there. So they take them all prisoner. He was being tortured in Mathazar. And this is the scene where that is going to tell Mathazar that they're not, astronauts. They're not the Protector. The Galaxy Quest was just a TV show. So it says, "I'm not the commander. I'm an actor." And this is where he says, "Gwen, show him the historical documents, because only she can speak to the computer, by the way. If anybody else says computer do this, that, and the other, it ignores them. Only she can." Pardon me. So I don't know how they managed before they got her on board, the Thermians, because they were obviously operating the ship for a while. But anyway, by the by, as I said, don't overthink it. Anyway, so she shows him, she says, "Computer, display the Galaxy Quest files," or whatever it was. That's where they're showing the the historical documents. This is what the Thermians think is real stuff, but so obviously Saris knows that it's make believe. So he's got to. He tells Jason to explain to him that it's not real. That Galaxy Quest is not real. It's just a TV show, but Mathazar doesn't understand. So he says, explain to him as you would a child. So, he says, it's an actor, and, it's pretend, and he goes, I lied. And so Mathazar's going, can't believe it. We pretended, we lied. And, you understand that, don't you, Mathazar? There you go, National Space Exploration Administration. The ship was that big, and the digital conveyor was a Christmas tree light. Love the masks they give the henchmen, so they don't have to pay for lizard faces. Yes, they're like this bamboo or something. I mean, what can we see through their faces? Does it show us? Let's have a look for one. Because we get a close up, don't we, of one of them? So, sure we do. Come on. Show us. Yeah, you can't really make out, can you, underneath there? But yeah, save on doing those expensive prosthetics and stuff. For the minions, because apparently Robin Sachs was saying that all the masks and all that are really heavy because they had all these servos in, and the batteries and all that for them were somewhere else. He says it weighed a lot. So he like doubled his body weight once he got all the stuff on. But anyway, there we go. We pretended we lied, so you understand that. So anyway, that's where it says Christmas tree light. And the plywood sets, it wasn't real. Beryllium sphere is wire with plaster around it. Now, digital conveyor is a Christmas tree light. There you go. Let me say, what's a Christmas tree light? Don't know. It's all fake, just like me. And he says he's sorry. Right, so Saris orders his lieutenant, Lathe. So there is a lathe in it. But just the wrong sort. So they're going to make the protector blow up. They're going to, set the self-destruct or overload the warp core, essentially. But they're going to put... oh, by the way, they've got all the crew in the wherever it is, in the barracks or wherever. Got all the crew in there. But it's going to there we go, open a valve. What does it say on there you go. Open the oxygen seal on level C. Let the air in a bit for our friends. I'm all out to let the air out. But they're going to shove them in an airlock as well. Some henchmen. So here they are in some sort of cargo bay or whatever. And but he has an idea. There's Jason. So he goes, "You fin-headed monstrosity." Goes, you what? There you go. Acting like he did in episode 17. And he goes, oh, yes. So they start fighting. So they use the fight as a distraction to disarm, knock out their guards, and then Fred opens the door and blows them out into space. So shoved them in an airlock and blow them out into space. And he says that door was a bit sticky. I love when my boys come with a can of WD-40. Right, so then we go to see that they're all dying in there, they're suffocating. Give those people air. That's what they should be saying, shouldn't they? So they've got to... Gwen and Jason are going to go and stop the reactor overload. Tommy's got to go and learn how to fly again. So he's got to go and practice flying. Alexander. Who else have we got? What's Fred doing? Fred and Guy have to go somewhere else. I can't remember. And Alex is doing other things. He's with Quale. I don't remember. He's going to try and open the door to help, the people that are getting suffocated. Right. Oh, there we go. Fred, take Guy and Lally out of it. Find that valve, shut it off. Alex has to get to the barracks. Tommy's got to learn how to fly. Going to practice driving. There we go. So they've got to go and shut down the stop the warp core breach. And she's saying, well, unless you've taken some lessons, you don't know how to stop this. It says that, no, but I know somebody who does, and he gets the Vox out. This is where we see Brandon's house. Very nice house, must be a rich family. It's America, though, isn't it? You can have like a massive house, and it costs you like £2.50 or whatever. There he is. He's doing a Galaxy Quest model. Anyway, his mum's there. He's got to put the trash out. He's got to do his chores. Try and explain that to Aidan about chores. Won't do any. I've got to do bloody everything. That's why I'm exhausted all the time. And then we hear this, hello? Hello? Is anybody there? Can you hear me? And then he's like, hello? This great voice. See if we can hear him.
Hello?
Just cracks me up. Does Justin Long. And says, oh, it's Commander, it's Jason Nesmith. And he calls him Commander. And he says, look, I know it's not real. I'm not a complete brain case. And he says, no, it is real. It's all real. He goes, ha ha, I knew it. Anyway, so he's got to tell him how to stop the core overload. This is Quellic, isn't it? In his real form. There he is. Using his Mactar stealth haze. That's how I avoided capture. Anyway, so he's got to get his other friends. It's on the internet. It's 1999, so kind of not the earliest days, but it's before I got on the internet. I can't remember when I started on the internet. It must have been 1999 because I remember Y2K, so whatever. He's got to contact his team, and because they've got all the plans for the Protector, so they can talk them through it. There's Guy being the action hero. They've got to clear. They're looking down into like basic engineering. I think it's engineering. And they've got to, find a way to clear it of bad guys. There we go. Fred has an idea. Anyway, so he's on to his friends now. There he is. There's Birdman from Men in Black 2. I hope his mum doesn't pick up the phone and kick him off. Yes, because that would be back in the days of 56k modems and all that. Where you couldn't use the phone and be on the internet at the same time. Hey, the good old days. That's like the saucy picture he's got in the background, hasn't it? There's Kyle. Anyway. So they're getting all the gang together to get all the plans for the ship. And there's Saris. He's gone back to his ship, by the way. Then we see what happened to the men that that got blown out of the Protector. Green. Anyway, find them! Because they've found out they've escaped. So anyway, he's telling them where to go through these passages, and the fall down tubes and stuff like that. And then the under the Omega-13 now. There we go. You're deep in the underbelly of the Omega-13, and they look up and they see all doing all. There we go. All weird stuff. All CG. Saying wow. Whatever it is, God knows. And this is where we learn what it probably does. Many believe it's a matter collapser, but capable of destroying everything in 13 seconds. But it says, I and some others believe it's a matter rearranger, and it can create, make you go back in time, essentially. Rearranging matter makes you go back in time. Don't know. 13 seconds. There you go. A matter rearranger. Affecting the 13-second time jump to the past. Don't know how rearranging matter would do that, but anyway, whatever. Right, so they're carrying on, trying to get to the car. Guy is still worrying about, being killed and all that stuff. But Fred says, no, maybe you're the plucky comic relief. And then he goes, oh, I've just had this interesting idea. They're still trying to get into the barracks. And this is where the famous bit now is take a left and straight on through the chompers. This is where she comes round. This is the famous F-bomb. She doesn't say screw that, does she? You can see. But if they wanted the rating, I suppose PG, I suppose, they were forced to take it out. But in the UK, a 12 rating, you can have an F-bomb. So why did they put it back in? I think they should have done. They should have put it back in. But anyway, never mind. Anyway, this young fella knows the sequence of the chompers. So they're going through. She's shouting and screaming about it. What is this thing? What purpose does this have in the ship? They don't know. It's just there because it were in the show. So she's still shouting. This episode was badly written. Anyway, they get through the chompers. There we go. There's a flame thing as well for some weird reason, but they do make it. Yes, release the F cut. The Galaxy Quest F cut. Right, so they're back at the digital conveyor now, because now he's au fait with it now, he's Fred. So he's going to basically beams up Grognak, and Grognak deals with the henchmen. Some have masks that you can't see the faces, and some, don't. So he's beating all those up. And this is where we learn that they love each other now, and she partially turns, into I don't know. You must be able to partially turn off the appearance generator. Anyway, there you go. But Fred's not bothered. He's fine with it because he's into bestiality, it seems. Or he thinks he's the deep of the boys, doesn't he? So, oh, that's not right. Anyway, Grognak's smashing his way through the ship, and there we go, dealt with them. So here he comes now, this floating off into space with the music going as he floats away. Like that. Poor Grognak. I imagine he just falls back to the planet and he's fine. He doesn't burn up in the atmosphere. Thanks, Grognak. You saved the day. Discovery watched this and added flamethrowers to their bridge. Yes, they did, didn't they? I was thinking that when they were watching season 5. Why's the flamethrowers? Is it some sort of rock concert going on? Anyway, so they turn off they close the valve and they open the doors and say, "We are saved." And he's thinking, they're thanking him, thanking Alexander Dane. He has saved us. And he's like, yes, Commander Taggart has saved us. Deflated. So, right, Quellet, let's get back to the command centre. This is where Quellet gets shot. There he is. There you go, gets shot from behind. Because the baddies, they shot him in the back. I'm shot. Is that a reference to Westworld, the movie, with not Josh Brolin, his dad, James Brolin. He gets shot and he just goes, "I'm shot," doesn't he? So is that a reference to that? Don't know. So that's the end of Quellic. They drag him out of the way, and this is where he says the line to him, because Quellic says, "I always felt like you were a father to me," and he dies. And this is where we're all crying now. He says, "By Grabthar's hammer, there you go. By the sons of Morvain, I will avenge you." And then he gets angry, and he goes out, and he just charges this fella. This good job, his gun jams. His gun jams, and he just batters him, and that inspires all the other Thermians to rise up and take on the Saris's men. Don't know what species they are. It never tells us, I don't think, what species they are. Although it does earlier on. It's mentioned Saris of something. But I can't remember what it was. But it did. Mathazar did mention it earlier on in the film, and I've forgotten. Anyway, right. So they get to the core, and he says, "Right, what do I do?" He says, "Push the blue button." He says, "Is that it?" He says, "Yeah, why?" He says, "That'll be more complicated than that." So he pushes the button, but nothing happens. And so they think something's gone wrong and they're going to die. And so, by the way, Brandon's got to take out the garbage. He's pressed the button. Say, core implosion in 10 seconds. And this is where they're going to say, I've always wanted to say this to you. But then it stops on 1. Because it always stopped on 1 in the show. So, anyway. Just as they embrace, by the way. Anyway, right, so they're gonna blow up the protector, because they said, the core meltdown has been cancelled. So I said, we'll blow it up the old-fashioned way then. You can see his prosthetics coming off. I wonder what the Thermians are thinking about this. Do they think then whatever the bloody hell they are, have hair under their skin? They must do. Anyway, right, so they get to the bridge. They've got to head into the minefield now, because Tommy's been practicing on his flying. So he says, "Great, Tommy, can you get closer to him?" And he goes, "Yeah, I think I can." So there you go. But he's following them in this time, much like Khan in Star Trek 2. But there we go. But I think they get through the other side of the minefield, and said, "We've lost them," but they're heading straight for us. Here we go. They're heading straight for us. They're shooting at them, and basically playing chicken. And so they gets on the screen. There we go. Just Saris says, "The actors are going to play war with me." And it says, it's called chicken. "You think I'm going to blink, Sonny?" And all that stuff. And he says, "An actor knows a bad actor. You're sweating." Says, then he says, "We're dragging mines," as Windgrace said earlier on. There you go. "My ship is dragging mines." So somehow Tommy's managed to get all these mines to follow him without hitting the ship, because he's practiced. And there we go. So they can't turn the ship in time. There you go. The protector flies by, and all the mines go into the maw of Saris's ship, and it all starts blowing up. But he just runs to this control panel, starts pressing buttons. I wonder why. Don't know. But the protector flies around, and Saris's ship explodes in a huge conflagration. I better make sure we're still going, aren't we? We're getting close to the end of the film. Yes, still says excellent connection. Just make sure we're okay there. Nothing in the live chat. Yes, right. So they think that's the end of Saris. They think they've won. So, yay, hurrah, yay. They're all dancing about. Yay. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, wonderful. And then here comes Mathazar with his... why has he using the walking stick? Why has he got that strapped up his human leg? It doesn't look like that. I don't get it. How do these appearance generators work? Do they actually make them into human form, or is it like a glamour? I don't know. It must make them appear in human form, because he's got all that stuff on. Don't overthink it. Anyway, they're coming. So they think they were lying to confuse Saris, so they still think they're the people from the show. They think that's real. There we go. Anyway, by the way, they're clapping there. It's where is it? Oh, never mind. It's all very go Frosk. If you know, you know. because he needs it for the plot. Yes, he does in a minute. Yes. Anyway, so they're going to go back home now. Says we've got to go through the black hole. So right, so and then Mathazar's unhappy because he thought they were going to stay with them, because they need a leader. And he says, Mathazar, your people already have a great leader. Have a Caesar or whatever. There you go. So they're going to go into the black hole. So they're heading back to Earth. It's a black hole fed by another star. Look, cool, isn't it? So in they go. Right, and as they're heading towards Earth now, they come through the black hole, heading towards Earth. But they can't slow down. I don't know what's happened, but for some reason the ship can't slow down. But anyway, Fred comes onto the bridge and says, "What are you doing here?" And hang on, where are we? And they've got Fred, pardon me, gets his whatever call it, his shooter out and shoots Jason. And then we see he's actually his Saris with an appearance generator. Oh no! And then he starts. It's like the end of Blake 7. Is this one now? Starts shooting everybody. He shoots Tommy, shoots Gwen in the back, shoots Dr. Lazarus. I don't know where Fred is. Fred probably just down in engineering, isn't he, having a cool time, or with Larry somewhere. But anyway. So he's seen everybody dying, but not blooming thingamabob. Guy's the only one that doesn't get shot. There we go. We see all this stuff's going on. He's shooting Mathazar and all the other Thermians, but Guy's not. He's perfectly fine. He's ignoring Guy because Guy's not important enough. So Tony Shalhoub got to play 4 characters. Yes, he did, didn't he? He did. Whatever. Tony Shalhoub as Fred Kwan, as Tech Sergeant Chen, as Saris. So we'll call it 4, including his real life persona. Or I guess 3. Yes, I was counting himself as one. Yeah. He's a quadruple entity. Anyway. So they see they're heading for Earth. They can't slow down for some reason. He says, Mathazar, activate the Omega-13. So this is where it all activates. So there it is. He presses the plunger. It has a plunger or whatever. And so it does the time thing. We'll go back in time 13 seconds to just before Fred comes back on comes onto the bridge. And for some reason, maybe because he pressed the plunger, Jason's not affected by the time thing. He knows what's going on. So he knows that there we go, it comes out. He sees Fred and punches him and knocks him to the ground. And they all say, "What are you braying Fred for?" And they all grab hold and says, "It's not Fred, that's Saris." And then Saris turns back into Saris. Fred turns into Saris. And there we go. He's going to shoot him, but Mathazar appears and leathers him with his crutch. There we go, knocks him out, and saved the day. And for some reason now they're by Jupiter. By Jupiter! A minute ago they were heading for Earth, weren't they? We saw it in the bloody the screen. Now they're just flying by Jupiter. So they're like slingshotted around. Don't know. But don't overthink it. So they've got to separate the ship. The bridge module detaches, essentially. And the Thermians are going to go off and explore. Maybe. I'll just die out. I don't know what they'll do. There's quite a few of them. We saw the barracks were pretty big, wasn't it? So they may be the last of the Thermians, but there's still a few of them there, isn't there? Anyway, so they're going to... the main bridge is going to separate. But Laliar is staying because she's in love with Fred. Right. And we see a nice little bit here where he's... there you go. Goodbye. So that's him giving consent. Right, so the top part. I'm going to see it separate. Is it going to show it? Hang on. Here we go. Here we go. Cool stuff. Love it. So, bit like opening for Predator, wasn't it? You know, where they separated. The main ship flies off and the other part comes. But anyway, whatever. So they're heading down. Brandon's got to get to the convention centre now with all his fireworks. He tells his mum and dad. I thought we're Robin Sachs. Is it? I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. I don't think it is it? No, I don't think it is. He says we've got to the protectors entering the atmosphere at high speed, and we've got to have visual things so they can know where we are, whatever. So she says, okay, dinner's at 7-ish. I don't know. There we go. Oh, good guess, wasn't it? Dinner's at 7. Right, so there he's using the Vox as a homing beacon, whatever. So here it comes. Nobody's noticing. By the way, we saw that building get blown up on Independence Day, didn't we? Last week. Last Thursday. Yes, Thursday. So here it comes, knocking them over. How many people die in this next bit? I don't know. Because the thing's knocking cars left, right, and centre. Here it goes through tears through the car park. I mean, maybe they're all unoccupied, I don't know. But how many people die here as it comes crashing into the convention centre of day 2 of the Galaxy Quest Con? But here it comes. Many geeks died that day. There it goes smashing through. Somebody had to die. At least one person had to die. Surely. Anyway, there it is. And then the door opens and out comes Tommy Laredo and the fella at the stage with the microphone. Thinking it's part of the show. Here comes Tommy Laredo. Tommy Webber. I never remember his character's actual name. There he is. There we go, Tommy Webber. And then out comes Tony Madison. Oh, wow, what effects. Another shipmate. He doesn't know his name. And then Tech Sergeant Chen, Fred Kwan, and a friend. Oh, dear. And then, Alexander Dane, Dr. Lazarus. Give him a big hand, he's British. And then Jason Nesmith as Peter Quincy Taggart. Hang on. But here comes Saris comes out because he was just knocked out. So he comes out and Jason grabs a gun off, I think, Tommy, and does his roll, his Kirk-like roll, and shoots at Saris before he can shoot at anybody else. And I don't know, disrupts him, I suppose. You know, it's like a disruptor, isn't it? And an ironic twist of fate, only death row inmates were in the parking lot at this time. Oh dear. And there you go. Saris explodes in a ball of flame and then a of smoke. Like that. Like a little fart. Which I found hilarious. And then everybody cheers, yay! And give it up for the crew, the NSA Protector. And then he gives her a big kiss. There we go, true love. And then he calls for everybody else to join him at the front of the stage. There we go, what a show! Because it's all part of the show. There he goes, calling them to the front of the stage. She's going, because they're a crew now, they're all equals. And they all take a bow. And then we cut to some time later, Galaxy Quest returning back after 18 years, the new adventures of Galaxy Quest. And obviously 18 years has passed in the in the series as well, because we see Tommy grown up. But introduced to the new crew, Commander Peter Quincy Taggart, Dr. Lazarus, telling who they are. But she's still a lieutenant, is Gwen DeMarco, as Lieutenant Tawny Madison. She hasn't had a promotion in 18 years. She must be crap. And then Tech Sergeant Chen And Jane Doe as Laliari. Because I don't know her name. There we go. But then he's finally got a character. There we go. Guy Fleegman as Security Chief Rock Ingersoll. Rock. As the adventure continues. And there we see the Protector. In a, what they call it, a beauty shot or whatever they call it. Heads off into the time knot, or whatever they're calling it. How many EU novels and fanfics were written to explain how Guy died in that one episode and returned for this series? Well, it could be another character. I mean, they do that in well, they've done it in Star Trek, haven't they? But they do it a lot in Stargate, don't they? They have same actor playing different characters. They do it too much in Stargate, but they've done it in Star Trek as well, haven't they? As well. You could just say somebody else. And that's it. That's the end of the film. There we go. A brilliant, amazing film. It's one of the best, one of my favourites, because it's got everything. It's got everything. It has, as Galaxy Quest, and as a lot of people say, it's one of the best Star Trek films. It's a loving homage to Star Trek, although it does send it up somewhat, but it's done in a loving way. It doesn't ridicule Star Trek, even in the Just Temples has got to go. Great show as usual. Cheers, Josh. Have a great time. Doing whatever you're doing. What was I saying? That's it. Doesn't send it up. It doesn't mock Star Trek or anything like that. Some people might suggest it does with the convention and things, but that's what conventions are actually like. I've been to them, so it doesn't mock them. I think this is better than Spaceball. I think this is better than Spaceballs is to Wars. Yeah. Flog me if you must. No, I agree. I think this is better than Spaceballs. I love Spaceballs as well, but I think this does a better job of doing a comedy Star Trek than Spaceballs did of doing a comedy Star Wars. Because Spaceballs were more taking the mickey out of Star Wars, whereas this is homaging Star Trek. It's written by somebody who loves the source material, or loves what is writing about. He didn't want to poke fun at Star Trek, not in a nasty way. It's like I say, it's a loving homage, isn't it? So anyway, so there we go. So that's Galaxy Quest, right? So, anywho, right. So that's it, done and dusted for another week and a live show that's gone without a hitch. He says, and me, make sure we're still going. Yes, we are. Just one last check. Make sure there's no chats on Rumble. No, there ain't. Right. So, there we go. What's coming up next? I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm doing next week. It was nearly a last-minute thing to do a live show this week. But I think we're going to be okay for the time being. I did... which one was it now? I think it was the Independence Day, the premiere, Independence Day premiere I did last Thursday. I think somebody might have popped on and tried, to maybe they wanted to send some chats, because my subscriptions went up by about 4 or 5, and then almost immediately went back down again. So I think somebody might have subscribed. These idiots might have subscribed to do their nasty thing, and but found that they couldn't, because I've set it to only subscribers for a certain length of time can subscribe, can join in the chat. Did you ever reach out to YouTube about those fiends? No, I didn't. I don't know how to contact YouTube. I don't know how to do it. But like I say, I think for now, I think we've got round it. And hopefully they'll forget and move on. They'll go on to somebody else, some other poor person. Anyway, I hope so. Anyway, but we'll see how we go on. Right. So we'll leave it there. As I said, I don't know what I'm doing next week. I haven't made up my mind yet. So, right. But on Friday, I'm going to do a news thing on Wednesday, by the way. Big news. Late Star Trek, which I'll be covering on Wednesday, is the big buyout, in it. Not, well, sort of. The merger of Paramount and Skydance. So that'll be news to cover on Wednesday, when everybody else has already had their say. But on Friday, this week's Appointment with Fear, we're doing Final Destination, the first one. I like that film, although the what they call it, death thing in it is kind of a bit like Frank Spencer in it. But anyway, right. So we'll leave it there. So thanks, Win Grace, and thanks, Josh Temple. Did we have anybody else pop in? I don't think we did we? No, never mind. Oh no, we had Tim Rose earlier on, didn't we? I think. Yes, we had Tim Rose popped in earlier on, and Archmage Frey, that mysterious man from Twitch. So thank you for all that. What's that? Unless it falls apart again before Wednesday. Oh yeah, the thingamabob, the merger. Oh God, I tell you. My brain. Never see them. Okay. Anywho, right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks everybody for keeping me company while I waffle on in my droning monotone about Galaxy Quest, which is an amazing film. An amazing film. And I wish they'd hurry up and get on with that blooming sequel or series or whatever the bloody supposed to be doing. I wish they'd frame. But I think we'll see that before we see a new Stargate. I do, honestly do. Anyway, right. So I'm going now. So, thanks for watching. And wherever you are, look after each other. Hang on, where are we? And until next time, I'll save the